April 19th, 2017, meeting of the Building Board of Appeals. Would you please call the roll?
Anne Marie Dinkel. Present. Jeff Eby.
Present.
Donna Flaherty. Randy Houchin.
Present.
Dustin Hubbard.
Present.
Ron Mansky. And David Mitchell.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay. We won't do introductions because the new person, Donna, is not here. Okay. The next order of business would, is there any comments on the agenda as far as approving the agenda? Shall we approve the agenda as is? Okay. Then we'll do election of officers, and if you take control of the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would request a nomination to elect a chair for the Building Board of Appeals.
I nominate David.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, and we'll do a roll call to nominate David Mitchell as chair for the Building Board of Appeals. Anne Marie Dinkel?
Yes.
Jeff Eby?
Yes.
Donna Flaherty is not here. Randy Houchin?
Yes.
Dustin Hubbard?
Yes.
Ron Mansky is not present, and
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell.
And if we could then have a nomination for pro tem, chair pro tem. I would nominate Randy then, if there's no one else. Need a second?
Second.
And a roll call to nominate Randy Houchin for Chair Pro Tem for the Building Board of Appeals. Anne Marie Dinkel?
Yes.
Jeff Eby?
Yes.
Randy Houchin?
Yes.
Dustin Hubbard?
Yes.
David Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We have minutes from the last meeting. I think it was the 20th of April, 2016. Is there any comments or changes? I have none. Does anybody else?
No.
No? Okay. And of course, we do have a video recording of it for the record also. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? I'll call for a vote then. All in
Okay.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, unanimous. We have no one from the public unless Mr. Kaiser would like to make a comment.
No comment.
All right, we'll move on to staff comments.
Okay. Once again, my name is Anastasia Urban, Development Services Manager in the Community Development Department. Thank you for your time today. One reminder is that all of the boards and commissions do have the first annual symposium/training this coming Monday night. If you haven't done so already, please RSVP to our city clerk's office. And the meet and greet session starts at 5:30 with the formal training to continue at 6:30. Again, that will be this coming Monday. And then also, we are preparing to do some additional...
Excuse me, let me just go back to that a second. One of us should take the responsibility of maybe emailing or double checking with the members that are not present, because particularly Donna, who's not been in any part of this, would benefit, certainly. You want to do that, or you want me to?
Yes, I can, and I believe I've seen some RSVPs
Oh, you have,
from our
okay, maybe
members
you want to
already.
check that with
Yep.
Wendy,
Yep.
and if she's not RSVP,
Then I'll double check with the
double
rest.
check with her and Ron. Okay.
Sure. And then a highlight for this board this coming year, we are planning to do some additional study sessions with this board. This board has not met very frequently because of normally boards meet on action on applications or appeals. And in this case, we've met to do election of officers and to engage this board in the functions of the Building Board of Appeals, we will plan for some study sessions. Generally, we're anticipating quarterly study sessions for some topics that we've considered. And right now, we are planning to do a study session in May. And in your packet, you do have our anticipated dates that we would meet. Generally, the board meets on the third Wednesday of every month. So May is the 17th, I'm going off memory. It is the 17th, thank you. So we will be having our first study session, and the May study session will be an orientation to our codes. For instance, in your packet, and you have some packets for reference, there's some codes that are very specific to this board. For instance, Title II, Chapter 4 is establishment of the Building Board of Appeals. And so the May study session will walk through the structure of the Building Board of Appeals purpose, what the role and overview is, and then also it'll be interactive with our website to kind of walk through the building codes, and then I'll bring some sample code books as well, because generally we adopt the ICC codes, and how does that integrate with our municipal code, and how those are updated and changed. So it will be kind of an open question and answer format as well. Want to engage the board members for that.
And I have a question on code. Is it, because we haven't determined whether it's at Bemis, but is it online? And if it is, can we get passwords so that we could, if we wanted to, sit at home and review some codes?
So our municipal code is available online, and the municipal code adopts the ICC family of codes.
And do we need access code?
Generally, the ICC books are heavily copywritten, and there are generally required subscriptions to access the codes themselves. For any hearings that we would be hearing an appeal on, we would provide the relevant code sections that the board would need to make a decision on that. The sheer volume of the books themselves are probably a shelf big of the whole series of codes. And so, generally, you don't need to reference all of the codes, so we would provide the relevant ones. I would have to look into online access.
Would you please?
Generally, you have to purchase seats. And so I'm not sure if there's a way that maybe we could share a seat. So.
The city has bought a seat, I'm sure, correct?
Correct.
And then I'm curious as to whether we, as members of the Building Board of Appeals, could access that as representing the city of Littleton.
Yeah, I will look into that option. Again, generally, it's usually hosted on a computer, so I'm just not sure how easy it is to get that login for others. But if anyone has questions, and I mean, this is true to the public too, public contractors, architects, who need some assistance in finding specific sections of the code, all of our staff are willing to do that and find the relevant sections.
But and I'm not sure about the other members, but there may be a case where I would like to look up a particular code without there being an appeal, without the city furnishing the committee relevant. So.
Yeah, I will see what options we have to
Thank
share a login potentially
Okay, thanks.
for online.
And do we know if it's available at Bemis?
I will double check on Bemis as well at the library.
Okay,
I would think so.
thanks.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, generally it is, but I haven't personally made it over there or called to make sure that it's there, because
Right.
when the codes were adopted, it was prior to my arrival. And so in theory, when you adopt the codes, that's when the staff, provides the additional copies at the public locations. But I will also verify that as well.
And then a couple other things that Anastasia and I have discussed. It's every 3 years the code is updated, and we've had this discussion: does the city review and adopt every 3 years or every 6 years? And we need to make a recommendation to the city council. And the discussion that Anastasia and I have had is maybe we wait and see what changes there are to the code and then recommend to city council. We think we can pass this 3 years. We don't have to go through a review and approval because there's nothing that's major. But if there is something major, then we don't wait 6 years, we adopt in 3 years. Correct?
Yes, I will discuss our local amendments. Again, there's a series of code books, everything from the building code to the swimming pool and spa code. There's good things in the code, and generally we like to adopt them clean as published, but they're written for an international purpose, and maybe not all of the code provisions are really directly applicable, and that's why we do local amendments. And the local amendments are what we see in our online version. And so you can see the local things that we've amended. And there's options to, again, adopt a code series as a whole, and there's options to, again, we've historically done it, and most communities do certain sections that are amended or accepted from those code versions. So we'll talk about kind of what that process looks like and how this board would be involved in input as well.
Okay. And the other comment I have is we've not had an appeal for a couple of years. I believe that I'm probably the only one that's been involved in an appeal. So we're going to hold a mock appeal either June or July. Kind of part of that will be how comfortable the new city attorney is in doing it in June, and if not, then we'll do it in July. We have a local experienced contractor, and we're discussing what is it that we're going to mock, okay? And we think it's probably going to be a stair hole, but we may select something different. But in any case, we'll make the decision fairly soon with Anastasia and the staff, and it'll look just like an appeal. We'll have the attorney present. The staff will present their side. The appellant likely will be Norm Brown, a very experienced contractor, will be the appellant, and we'll go through witnesses and read the code and make a decision. So that when we get an appeal, we're up to speed.
And just on the time frame, I believe the new city attorney's contract is to start July 1st.
Okay, not June.
There will be several
Thank you.
months, yeah.
Okay, yeah. We may hold it then, we may not wait for him. I don't know that it's critical that he be here, but then we would ask Ron Feldman who is the
Acting city attorney.
Thank you, acting city attorney. But we'll let you know. But I don't want to wait forever. I don't want to wait till August or September, because we could have an appeal, and I don't want that to be our first go-through. Okay.
And the training on Monday will help, again, in general form for quasi-judicial boards. And then, again, the intent in May is to help on the technical side of how the codes are structured, how they're adopted, to set that framework in addition. And then we'll keep you posted on the anticipated timing for a hearing.
Yes, right, okay.
So.
And one of the ones that I was involved in before I was chair, but on the committee, there were several staff present. It wasn't televised, but there were several staff present that never did get to testify, and they had, I think, probably some relevant things to say, not from so much should it be a 2x4 or a 2x6, but egress and safety and fire and that kind of thing. So we want to make sure that what's different about our board as compared to almost all the other boards is we're quasi-judicial, and Jeff would know the ramifications of that. But when we make a decision, that's the decision, and it's even hard to appeal our decision going to court unless we just erred in pick the wrong code to read kind of thing. So what we do is pretty important and can be very expensive for one side or the other, depending upon the decision made. So it's not, we're not the board that recommends to city council a zoning change or a planning thing. We make the decision. So it's important that we do it well. I don't have any other comments. Does anybody else have any comments or questions? Just for the record, Jeff interviewed extremely well. I was one of the chairs that was involved in interviewing the 4 city attorney candidates. And he did well, so. I call for adjournment.